I guess what is the game itself? I was showing the trailer just then while you're going through that introduction yourselves. But what is the game, and what inspired it? Because I think it's pretty clear if someone looks at it, but we do have like audio listeners here. If someone looks at the gameplay, I think they can tell like, you know, the sort of games that you guys have played before and the games that you guys like. But I want to hear it from your side.
All right. Do you want me to do this?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, so basically, I just... I'd say what was the question again, kind of thing? Like what influences it?
Like what is the game, and what the inspiration is?
Yeah, so the inspiration is basically my life of playing games. I just I love games. Like growing up, I loved Doom, I loved Smash TV, and then later on in life, when rogues and roguelikes and roguelites all came into vibe, like I fully got into like Binding of Isaac, and then I into the Gungeon and Nuclear Throne and stuff like that, and I just liked them so much that I was like, I just want to make someone else feel like what I'm feeling about something I create. And but I was like, but none of these are violent enough. So I was like, I want to put in that, like, I love comedy horror, like like stuff like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, and like all those kind of like fun, like, not sadistic horrors or anything like that. Like fun, like over the top, funny violence, with arms coming off and blood
right
out everywhere, and ridiculous lines and just funny stuff like that. And I was like, I'm gonna put all that stuff that I like and mush it into the game that I want to play. And I'm like, I don't have it yet, so I'm gonna make it myself. And I started. I hadn't built a game before. I'd never used Unity really, so I just opened up Unity and just went, let's go.
Okay.
And just that's why the coding at the moment is like a dog's breakfast, because I was just learning how to code as we are going along, and so Eli's is dealing with that now, and so we're just like, let's redo it all. It's
so what we had at Avcon was like perfect for a prototype. It's like classic prototype. It was like filled out enough that you could get the experience, and it was pretty good response. I mean, you played it, Brody, seemed to, well, you didn't hate it enough to not want to podcast it, so but people loved it, and you get that vibe, you get that experience. It's like a market validation, right? So it's like, what's the value proposition? Is the game fun?
Right.
And it was, like, people love it. But then we looked at it, and leading up to Avcon, it was like chasing bugs, and they're coming up elsewhere, and we're kind of like, oh, the code base is just bad, and so now we're into full development and building it from the ground up again. Or Eli.
Yeah.
So what you had at Avcon, was it just up to that boss there, and that would have been the end of it if someone beat that, or did it go further from that? Because I didn't beat the boss myself, you guys saw.
No, it was just that. Like, so my goal for Avcon was to just have, like, it's basically 85% of the play loop in there, kind of thing. Like, you get to start, you get this slight bit of a tutorial, and then you go into like a run, and you get to beat a boss, and usually, and that's what I wanted for Avcon. But then in the actual game, you'd be able to go back to your hub world and do this kind of like vibe where you're there's a whole another part of the game where you're actually digging up out of hell. Because if people don't know what the story of the game is.
Yeah, we kind of jumped ahead a little bit. What is the premise of the game?
Yeah. So basically, it's a top-down, twin stick roguelike shooter. Stuff like Gungeon and Nuclear Throne and all those ones I was saying before, Binding of Isaac, with roguelike elements and stuff. So, and you're a little girl named Ember, and you wake up at the start of the game, and it's your birthday, and you through this opening level, tutorial level, you learn that like you've been brought up in this kind of like opulent, rich like house and stuff, and your parents are there, and they've thrown a party, but it's more for them, and you find it they're like vacuous, kind of like not very good parents, and gets drunk and accidentally like hits you into the pool, into the side, into the edge of the pool, and smashes your head and you die. And then from there you go down and you end up accidentally getting sent to hell. Even though you're like the nicest person in the world, you've never done anything bad. And then from there you meet like this sentient chainsaw that like you shouldn't really be able to use, but like it lets you use it, and you go from there. And then like the story unfolds with like, and there's like all these like layers to it. There's like the chainsaw's using you for a certain reason. Like your parents have like its backstory, and then you end up like you're not like trying to escape hell. You're kind of digging deeper into hell to like kick Satan's ass, but like basically stuffing up this administration of sending you to hell. But you're also like digging your way up out of hell through this flesh, because hell is this big like sentient giant creature. And you're digging up through these mounds of flesh and gore and bone, not to escape, but to actually grab your parents and drag them back down to hell. Because, like, spoilers, they're escape demons, and that's why you can use these like hell weapons that no one else can use, and why you can escape hell.
Right.
That's that it, really. It's pretty simple, but